course, on the palm. We're going to kick things off on Shrine.
Yeah, we're on Shrine here. This is a map that Giganti ran floats. I was a little bit interested by it because you don't have the Reinhardt there to block rockets. You kind of suffer from dynamite pressure as well as because you can't shield the dynamite. So British Hurricane, they're going to change it up. They're playing the Reinhardt. Obviously, I was talking to Tanny as well as in Team Giganti. They have their reasons for playing this. Whoa, that's quick.
Already a kill. Nice sightlines there from Dragon Eddie, able to drop that down onto Yofi, and it puts Hurricane into full retreat, albeit at a snail's pace because they don't have the amp anymore. And this quad DPS composition from Morningstars, it's something that British Hurricane have run on other maps, and it's something they should be versed at understanding how to beat.
Yeah, exactly. What I really like about this is that you have Exaraf instead of being on the Zen here. He's very easy to take down, very easy to rush upon. And there's the Ana that we wanted to see from Bucket with the Winston as well.
Iconic Ana.
Iconic Ana.
One of the best Anas in the region, has been for multiple seasons, even when Ana wasn't exactly flavor for the meta right now. As Exaraf does around 15 HP, the recall's there to bring him back to safety, and point control has gone over to Morningstars, and British Hurricane are looking to aggress with point control for the time being. They're going to get the flip nice and early. Dragon Eddie's going to keep these sight lines. That's a Mouse Aster going down very low, getting away with a sliver of HP. Nice knockback there to deter the aggressors, but Yofi and the rest of Hurricane seem to have got this one locked down, but Dragon Eddie's got something else to say about it. The pocket coming in from Tridd, trying to keep him alive, but falls down a little bit too low, and British Hurricane guarantee that capture.
And just to go back to Bucket here, his positioning is perfect. Gets a wonderful sleep onto Leaf on the Sombra, which you never think in the first place. Really, with Sombras, you think, that's annoying, we're not going to deal with it. We do have switches up over here, but that's what won the fight. They lost a member early. They lost hack pressure onto Haffy Cool. He does what he wants now. So Morningstars, they have to adapt. They bring out the Zen Goats.
Lost the Hacker Man, but they're going to go in regardless. Zen Goats coming in. Numlock shredding through Malzasser already, and shredding through both shields. This is not looking good for Morningstars as Numlock just cleaves through, and a couple of resets coming in from Morningstars. Yofi picks up a kill on the retreat.
This seems like a really odd engage to me from Morningstars KSP. I would imagine they go for a first bubble rotation, which is where you use both bubbles, you make a soft engage, you get that 80 charge, you come into the next fight with 70, you have surplus just from the personal barrier. But running into British Hurricane or running with the Ana, and you've only got the Zen, you want to have shield pressure to begin with. You want to give time for the Zen rather than basically give the sleep and Bionade pressure onto your own team.
Well, Dragon Eddie didn't have his Bib and Cutlery out, wasn't able to eat that Graviton Surge, and Suna just walks it in for British Hurricane. Great restraint, great control, and fantastic execution from the Academy team.
Morningstars know they're going to lose that fight. They have to run into the grav there. But Suna, the fact that he's managed to get 50% towards his next Graviton is fairly mind-blowing, to say the least. So Morningstars, they really have only one option here, and it's to get that Transcendence early, go for something aggressive, try and make a play. British Hurricane, on the other hand, they have a Diva Bomb which can break the shield into a Shatter. It's going to be difficult.
Going to send it up there. Shields are good to keep the rest of Morningstars alive. Yofi finds Leaf in the chaos. They're missing that arm attack, that additional healing to keep up the members, and also going down when they're close to rally. The Numlock's going to sit on that Shadow, going to plant it straight into the shield. And there's going to be a consumption there. Dragon Eddie finds the second grab from Suna. It enables KSP to get his one out there, and they're going to mold into British Hurricane. Dragon Eddie only finding Yofi, putting a self-destruct, actually been placed off the point. Everyone else is safely in cover, where everyone wants to be on the point. Rally popped by Leaf. Suna's going to be dropped down by Dragon Eddie. They're missing a huge DPS component from their fight. It's going to be difficult to output everything they need to get the kills here, but Zander needs to take it into his own command. He's isolated from the team with that rally. He's only benefiting himself as Morningstars are trying to get onto the point. Numlock's been taken out by Dragon Eddie, and Danner's now got himself on the point, but he can't get through this lineup. That's an exposed Drejo on the back line, able to be picked up by Bucket. There's a self-destruct to the point, on the point, buy some more time. Overtime so close to ticking down. They touched in the nick of time as they deploy the Graviton and go for the recommit. Morningstars cannot afford to lose this fight if they want to maintain themselves in this round, and with 5 members on the point and just a lone Lucio to contest, they've done just enough to get himself back in this round.
And Exaraf getting the second Transcendence in that fight is crucial. They know that Suna's going to be planning to go for that quick grab engage, so they need that Transcendence to basically hold on to this point for a little bit longer whilst they regain some of that ultimate charge that they lost whilst investing into this fight. Bucket knows he has to switch over to the Zen. His Zen is slightly worse than his Ana. His aim has always been a little bit something that he's struggled with, so he's not going to be charging trances as fast as Exaraf, which is something KSP can capitalize on.
All right, Numlock, don't plant this Shatter into the shield of Malzahsa, and you might be able to retake this one for British Hurricane. Moving around, goes straight behind, don't even have to block it in the shield, just walks around him, plants it on the ground, secures the fight, and surely the round for British Hurricane.
Well, that's really Numlocked it down there. I don't think Morningstars are getting back onto it unless they can go for an epic Transcendence to the point. It's not happening. He's not an F1 car, that's for sure.
Transcendences don't move that fast, Blank. They, the amount of overtime that's already in play, it's a little bit difficult for them to get there in time. First round going over to British Hurricane, so nice early lead in the series, but of course this is only the first map, and we might see it all decided for Nepal on Sanctum.
Yeah, coming over the Sanctum here, it's a bit of a different one. We did see some play from Widowmaker yesterday, actually, in KSP. We know he is an exceptional Widowmaker from what we saw from last week on Volskaya. The guy plays extremely well. So Morningstars will be playing that similar composition. They'll have Leaf on the Hanzo, very aggressive sniper, and British Hurricane playing much of the same. In fact, mirror compositions. So really, it's the team with the better macro, the better micro that comes out on top.
Sooner going on to the Ashe. That's the only difference there from KSP on the Widowmaker. So we'll see how that differences play out for the team. Going to send out a scouting arrow. Just spot somewhere. Danet's already found Malzahsa, so say goodbye to your main tank, your beefy front line, and any hope of a shield you're hoping to have. This should surely give over positional advantage massively. Why would you go for that? That's so dangerous, Dreidra. Danet just picks him off as he goes for the resurrection. Exoraf finds Numlocked. They don't have they don't have a mercy of their own to get the res out. This might be British Hurricane losing this point now. Sooner finds the consolation kill onto Leaf. KSP takes him out, but Hurricane getting first cap. They need to maintain it. Dragon Eddie, walk away. You do not want to take those storm arrows.
Bok is so low on the left-hand side as well as... You're playing a dangerous game there, Danet, versus KSP peeking him like that. He did regain... They will regain control of the point.
His bullets don't drop. No, your arrows do. KSP picking Yofi out the sky.
Oh my!
And
the shield comes in through clutch.
Just in the nick of time as Happy Cool take out Leaf. Exoraf fragging out to Numlocked, and KSP just from the side pumping out the damage into Bocket. Flip coming out for Morningstars. The one tap, the two tap for Danet. Can't make it the third, but he's done enough.
Yeah, it's a rogue pig from behind there. Did pick up the kill onto Leaf, but it's not a... What was that? Incorrect Venom Mine? I don't think it was. Mickey got that nicely in there. But British Hurricane, they know they have to make the switch. They're going to have the floats now. They have to jump in the back line. But we cannot see Numlocked jumping headfirst into Leaf now. Because that Storm Arrow will just cut through him immediately.
Playing just in front of the shield for now. Going to back off behind it. Nice and slowly. Coming in for British Hurricane. Want to move around to the side. Just trying to get in through this little gap, and Hurricane are very conscious of the sightlines here. They're going to play around the interior to avoid any of that additional damage. But they are going to have to expose themselves to KSP at some point. And it's going to be Numlocked going in to try and kill him, but he's a little bit too late to get the bubble down. Danet will fall down. Dragon Eddie gets a hook, takes Happy Cool off the map. In fact, Dragon Strike committed by Leaf. Pump him back up to get the ults, and KSP's found another one. So that contest, that attempt from Numlocked, too slow, and his team's punished for it.
It's a great reaction from Exoraf there. Popped the Transcendence when he did. Gave time for Dreidra to actually get off the Valkyrie there and potentially go for a res if they needed one. They didn't need one in the end. But Malzahsa coming back to this point with the Supercharger has incredible rates when it comes to as a fight-winning ultimate. So alongside the whole hog, they should be okay for this one. Obviously, British Hurricane have the Transcendence, so I'd expect an aggressive play.
Getting into the danger zone as well, 75%, not a lot of time for Morningstars to have to defend for. They're going to commit that whole hog already. Numlock pinned in the corner after he committed to try and find KSP, I assume. Not Dragon Strike, sorry, the Transcendence being used by Bocket. It's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Morningstars seem to have this map on lock. It's a stark contrast for what we saw on Shrine.
Yeah, now they know what they want to play. There's a sound barrier coming back in, but Leaf shuts it down whilst the res goes off as well. Danet
obviously coming in on the Wrecking Ball, but that Orb of Discord already on top of him. Dragon Strike point blank range into Numlocked. You may as well at this point. This round, absolute domination by Morningstars.
Took the full frontal force of two dragons there. I mean, he actually got hit by the basic arrow as it came out, and to make matters worse, it was a headshot. So I think that's the most value you can get out of a Dragon Strike.
How bad would it be is if you hit a target with it at point blank range that it didn't actually deploy the dragons afterwards? Roadhog's just like, you played yourself, kiddo.
You played yourself, son. But that's well played from Morningstars to react the way they did. They're playing KSP, so they do have the advantage here when it comes to DPS composition. position. But it's something I was talking to Elbia now, a coach on British Hurricane, who's saying that, you know what, we can play double hit scan. We are confident in that. Unfortunately, it looks like Morning Stars, they do have the upper hand. One thing that's weird, though, is Morning Stars, I assume they're going to switch to the Mercy after Dreidel hits the amp boost. You need that Mercy to make sure that you can keep KSP alive, because he is very diveable. Only got the coach gun for repositioning.
And you need the amp so you're not fighting against the team as they come into it. Sorry, Numlocked going very low. Sooners already found KSP, so without the Ash there, you don't have that long-range safe damage, especially with the reposition from the coach gun. So Dragon Eddie's just going to be up in the skies. That's the other damage threat they need to be conscious of, because Leaf, he could be anywhere as well. He could hack you up. He could go for a kill on your backline. Nice hit there onto Yofi. Won't get a kill, and he'll heal up nicely. But they have given positional control over the Hurricane. The Sooner just going to laser through Malzahsa on the Wrecking Ball. First cap going over the Hurricane.
Yeah, I assume that this is a reset. I hope it's a reset. If not, it's just a bit of a feed, to be honest with you. But
I mean,
Morning Stars,
who's got the ult charge? Just block it.
Yeah, it's a reset. I thought so. But the problem is that they have to switch up, because they use the amp boost so early there, so they can get good positioning on the point. The fact that KSP dies so early, you lose that positioning. Retake is so easy for British Hurricane after that, after they have control of so much high ground and denying that to KSP himself.
They want to try and take the high ground away from Hurricane as they're pathing up there, and KSP looking down to get some mortars potentially if they're playing low. Bocket got his nano boost online, gonna pump that juice into someone. I think he's gonna give it over to Numlock as he just stands there on the point.
Bubble.
He gets the lightning through him, just passes out into his enemies, but Danet's already taken out Malzahsa, so they're already missing a main tank. They're gonna have to retreat this one. Dragon Eddie gets a D-Mech as well on the retreat. This map has been such a coin flip. One of them's like taking the round and giving it over to someone else, and it goes back to Hurricane for round 3.
Well, it's similar shades of the first round on Shrine, is where they get that early pick, they get control, and now Morning Stars have been in a bit of an ultimate hole, really. Their economy is pretty shoddy right now compared to British Hurricane. I hope that they fix the mistake, though. They take the time to go for that bubble rotation, and instead they use the Discord Orb to pressure out British Hurricane.
Well, they're going to use that Graviton Surge to make them implode on themselves, and Bio Grenade coming down to Leaf should shut him down, but it's the self-destruct from Happy Core that takes out KSP and opens it up for British Hurricane to dismantle Morning Stars. And Morning Stars, they have to end this fight quickly because they've not got enough time for a recontest, and they're staggering out Mr. Exoraph even longer. This is dire for Morning Stars, because now they're going to have to make an attempt 5v6.
Yeah, they're going to have to back to the point. Dreidel is probably the one that has to touch here. That last self-destruct set up by Yofi, who now has the sound barrier, so an aggressive play can be in effect if they should wish to take out a quick pick on Morning Stars.
They managed to trigger the overtime. That was good enough for now, but they can't keep the pressure up. Numlock's already taken out Leaf, and Dreidel can't hide in that corner.
Right.
Like a weird frog hybrid with Spider-Man, for example. Is a Dragon Eddie's just going to get dismantled in the corner by the mortar. As soon as that stagger came in for Exoraph, you knew it was all over. British Hurricane taking the pile.
This is not well I was expecting, for sure, but Hurricane, they've stepped up to the plate. I mean, both these teams, semi-finalists last season. Obviously, Morning Stars getting knocked out by AT, and Hurricane getting knocked out by Giganti. So they didn't actually meet in the semi-finals. So it's nice to see them going against each other now with their rosters, with all the new strats they've gotten going. It's great to see, but it looks like it will be Hurricane who come out on top here. I think it's just better reads from them. They know what type of strategies they're going to go for, and they punish them early.
Yeah, punishment coming in fantastically by Hurricane. Going to take the lead in this series to kick things off. Of course, we've got our second map coming up shortly after this, so do not go anywhere. Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders, and we're going to jump into what should be the place that everyone wants to go to, Blizzard World.
Yeah.
Make it a thing. I'm getting tired of waiting for this Blizzard-themed theme park, obviously.
Yeah, we'll just get in. We'll just replace Disney. You know, easy peasy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if they'll be happy about that one, Blank. But hopefully the teams will enjoy Blizzard World as much as we will, as that's going to be our second map. And Blizzard World was very interesting yesterday. I particularly like Shoes Money Crew's DPS-flavored response to assaulting this point.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. What we've seen at the moment is teams try and take the high ground approach with by high ground I mean just bloody flying with the Farah.
That's at the highest ground you can get.
That's the highest ground you can go for. You knock your head on the skybox. And yeah, you were talking about the approach that, was it Team Anti took? Yeah, they moved into Mega. They divert a lot of pressure. And really at that point, it's all about cycling targets. You really what you want to do in that situation is essentially every time allied barrier is off cooldown, you pop it on your D.Va flies up, tries to kill the Farah, and all that does is it alleviates pressure and just allows you to burn so much time come point A, and that's what it's all about.
We also saw the big branger bait from Barbecue yesterday, where he flew up and consumed the grab, faked the D.Va ult, went in there. So a lot of exciting plays on Blizzard World yesterday. Hopefully today entertains as much, because the map pool stays the same for a week. We get to see what every team has to bring to each map in a set week, and it's guaranteed to play them all. British Hurricane versus Morning Stars, and of course Hurricane have the lead after a 2-1 scoreline on Nepal, and Blank, you are smiling.
Yeah, the Morning Stars just like, oh, we're going to play this, we're going to play that. It's like, I know your roles, guys. Dredro, get off May. Get back on the Mercy, dude. Come on now.
Come on now. Exorap, I mean, he played Tracer for a bit. Could he be popping off on Widowmaker? Because there's actually a couple of good support players in NA Contenders who can also play Widow really well.
Slur played Tracer amazingly yesterday as well.
Absolutely. But Morning Stars, they're going to be on the offense first. British Hurricane, they're on defense, so we know what they're going to roll with. They're using a traditional GOAT composition with the Zenyatta flavor.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of quick scouting. You've got Malzahar on the Sombra. You use that for scouting.
Yeah, he's definitely going to roll out with that one.
Yeah, he's definitely going to. Leaf was ever faithful on his Brig, probably the only player that enjoys playing Brig. This guy just like runs forward. He's like, I don't care. I don't play
Brig,
DPS.
He plays Brig like he plays Doomfist. He just runs for the back
leafing.
line.
It's called leafing. Yeah. You just leaf at him. But British Hurricane, what we've got here is we've got the mirror. And something I was talking to you about before is that really British Hurricane have a great idea of their ult economy. And that's how they kept the advantage the entire time. But now we're seeing a mirror. Personally, I think this goes in the favor of Morning Stars, especially now that Hardest is back in the mix. Yeah,
Hardest obviously jumping back in here because they know they're going to be playing a lot of Zarya.
There's the first rotation.
First rotation obviously coming out. Like Blank said, they're going to look for a recommit on this one afterwards when they get the cooldowns back online. But with members going low, it does make it risky to commit this early. But it's being mirrored on British Hurricane as soon as Vanistic drop a lot of HP. And Rocket's uncontested at the moment. He wants to shred through Malzahar, so they need to cleanse that Discord. But Exorap has something to say with the right click. Again, he's found two of the supports by himself. And they're going to commit that Transcendence nice and early for Morning Stars to just seal the deal. Hardest taken out, Numlocked. And down at Dredro's moving forward. Happy Cool needs to be disrupted here. They don't want to let him escape. We'll stall out more of the point, but he's going to end up dying. That's going to be point A going over to Morning Stars.
And that's exactly what I wanted to see. Was the first ball rotation, you soft engage, you come back, Hardest is much higher charge. And, you know, I'm pretty sure that although it probably wasn't intentional for Malzahar to die, him creating space there and dying doesn't really matter because Zarya's already juiced up and she does more than enough damage to basically melt the enemy Zarya and Rhine by herself when she's that high charge. 190 DPS. So yeah, that's absolutely fine. I think Morningstar's played that perfectly.
Speaking of melting, that's exactly what Exo-Rav did, but now he's being pinned up. He's on the front lines for Yofi to take out with the sound wave. There's a charge coming through. Malzahsa pinned against the wall by Numlock, so they're going to isolate him. And Morningstars know this. They reset. They're going to go for it again, but they have given over positional control to British Hurricane.
Yeah, so they will have defender's advantage right now. Not that I think it matters, because now there's no opportunity for a counter grab. Morningstars know that, like, okay, we're happy to give you up 10 seconds. Our spawner is right here. So Hardest has to hit this grab right now. Can't get it eaten. There'll be no counter grab, and it means that Malzahsa can walk forward and swing into that one, adding more damage to the mix.
Also, we'll add enough charge for him to get a shatter to keep in the bank for later, but he's close to doing that by himself. Grab not eaten up. They're going to commit the trans, but that's not going to do anything for the self-destruct. Charge coming in from Malzahsa. It's answered with a counter self-destruct from Happy Cool. No one found. In fact, the only person to drop is Danid, and now Malzahsa going to burn through Numlock. I bet that armor pack probably would have helped him surviving against the fire strike, but unfortunately, it's not going to work out for them, and the rest of Hurricane are just going to collapse and give away more territory to Morningstars.
And I was complimenting the ult economy from British Hurricane last round, but they invest so much there. The D.Va comes over the top. You've already lost your Brigitte. You don't have that momentum ultimate of the rally. You invest the Transcendence, and then after you lose some of your main members, you whack down the sound barrier as well. As it makes no sense to me. This just makes the rest of Street so easy for Morningstars because they have supportive ultimate advantage. They can go aggressive with the sound barrier after this.
Hurricane want to go aggressive themselves. The grab already committed. Dan has popped the rally. They're throwing so much in. The sound barrier from Morningstars is all needed to come out there to keep him up, and Hardest just going to shred through them. 100 energy again. This guy never runs out of power, Blank.
No, not at all. It's like he's hooked up to
the grid.
The grid, dude. Yeah, he's got a plug in his back. It's nice and easy. That's right. He's quite literally a plug and play Zarya, this guy.
I didn't think perpetual energy machines existed, but unfortunately, it looks like
in the future it's fixed. It's just Hardest. You just hook him up and he just charges all the smartphones at once.
It's just on a little hamster wheel.
But that fight does absolutely come down to both the supportive ultimates there. The fact that both were gone, it just made it such a breeze. And now 4 minutes on the clock. They've got a lot of time to work with.
Be clashing up there. Lucios are fighting over the high ground tower. Numlock's already gone down to Hardest. He's still at 100 energy, Blank. This guy just doesn't seem to falter, and look at the DPS he's outputting Sooner, just can't match it. He's just being absolutely manhandled by Morningstars, and he goes in with the mortars. He makes it look easy.
Yeah, it's a similar playstyle to Young and Beautiful, where Hardest is a slow ramping, aggressive Zarya. As soon as he hits that high charge, he's going to be looking for those huge angles. And Morningstars, they're just looking to give him free up all the pressure for him to hit these big grabs.
If he gets a spot of where D.Va is and where the defense makes go, he's going to put the grab him just off the point, and the payload's just going to be walked in there. Earth Shatter being dropped down perfectly on top of Hurricane. Sooner has to fold around the side. He's being forced back. Where's that self-destruct going? It's easily blocked out. They just send Yofi on the point to buy more time. They're trying to keep him outside of all of these chokes. Yofi will get healed back up as he dances away. Hurricane somehow managed to recover from what looked like an impressive set piece for Morningstars, but they're just buying more time, or should I say burning it away from Morningstars' offense. They're starting to get control. Numlock charges in. Will pin Leaf to the wall, and he's surrounded. The shield's not going to help him. It's not a dome like Winston. Sound barrier just gives us a little bit of music at the end, but Morningstar's complete with a sizable time bank remaining.
Yeah, this is why I think it does favor Morningstars in these mirror matchups where you have Hardest in there. Like I said, he ramps up, and then once he's there, he just outputs so much damage. I'm very impressed with the way the Morningstars started to integrate him, because as soon as he hit that high charge, their entire playstyle just switched. They went over to this aggressive fast style where Dredro's looking for these aggressive boops onto Numlock there to bop him back in, and that's what actually gave them the advantage at the very beginning of point C there. The supportive ultimates, though, Exaraf and Dredro, again, have such a great grasp on when they're meant to be using them in this fight, and they consistently just had the advantage over Bucket and Yofi there towards the end. Very impressive all in all from Morningstars, and it's this slow style that I wanted to see, the kiting style as you look for the high energy.
I do completely agree with your sentiments, Blank, there about when Hardest does reach those upper echelons, that it does basically become, okay, time to stop playing defensively. We are going to run at them. And you saw it, you know, we pointed it out as we went around that first corner of point C. The Lucios were vying for control on that side wall because of those repositions. And unfortunately, if you get booped into Hardest, you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, and even more so, Morningstars know exactly how to use their ultimates towards the end of there. Hardest used his Grav early. They got some value out of it. They got the Transcendence out. But then Dragon Eddie, he launches his Diva self-destruct afterwards. What might have seen as a mistake there, I can pretty much guarantee that it was used to break Numlock's shield so that Malzahsa could just have a very easy shatter after that 1,000 damage just completely wipes the shield out for Numlock.
Nothing you can do about it. You need to play around the shield, but you can't recover from a self-destruct. Morningstar's going to be on the defense here as British Hurricane press forward. And 2 minutes 43 at the end of Blizzard World, it's going to be hard to match. I don't think we've seen a time bank like that so far in Contenders Europe, especially with this map in particular. And Hurricane are just buying their time right now, not committing anything too aggressively.
No, Hafiko was in the Sombra, was scouting them out, seeing what they were playing. Obviously, you do have the comment about Exaraf being on the Moira here. And in close spaces, you know what, I agree with it. The unfortunate thing is that orbs are going to get eaten by Hafiko.
Yeah, and hopefully that additional healing will come in handy to keep Malzahsa up, but they're going to trade Reinhardt, so I think that works out a little bit better for Morningstars. They are closer, but the fight's surely not over yet. As soon as going to shred through him, finds Leaf as well. Morningstars still trying to recover this one. Hardest is up. He's getting closer to a grab. As soon as matching his tempo, the remake comes in from Dragon Eddie, keeps him in the fight. They've fallen back for now. They don't want to risk giving anything over until they get their full force back in action. They have time as they go for a recontest on this point and force Hurricane away.
Yeah, Numlock takes a lot longer to get back, so they can forgive to go back and get Malzahsa back up again. There is a grab coming online very shortly from Suna. Probably going to launch this one first to prevent the counter grab.
We're going to get it out nice and early, and they're going to run straight at them. Transcendence being traded for the Coalescence. He's hosing down the rest of Morningstars. Shatter from Malzahsa just going to be blocked out. No one's going to be hurt by that one. Hurricane are going to get control of this one. Suna is going to send them all to the spawn room.
There's a great understanding from Suna there. I think he saw that Hardest wasn't actually matching him towards the beginning. He was getting far more energy, so he knew his grab was coming up first. So the fact that he's able to grab in such close proximity practically nullifies the counter grab because Numlock is so close, it doesn't really matter. He can still swing towards them. He is close enough to do that. Add that 75 extra damage per hammer swing.
You want that when you're just cleaving through enemies, especially when they're all grouped together. And Morningstars only have a sound barrier to their name. They're about to get a self-destruct up.
Yeah, Sound Barrier has to come out here early. They have to go for the aggro play if they want to reset this ult economy in their favor. They can't afford to let British Hurricane get anything more online like the Graviton.
They're just playing around the terrain nicely. Soon as seeing at that 100 energy, going to blast it straight into Hardest, donate him it. As Malzahsa is isolated by Yofi and then picked off by the rest of the team. They're going to press forward here. Dragon Eddie gets demeked. They're missing more and more of their tanks, and Dragon Eddie just going to be staggered out here. They're keeping him alive a little bit longer. Drijo's trying to keep him up as Exaraf turns it back around onto Numlock, so just keeping him out alive a little bit longer, maybe punished here as they're just really taking it to them. The supports are just running in with Hardest. They're just running in the back line. It's exactly what Morningstars want to do. Why are their supports so bloodthirsty, Blank?
It's so good. It's so good. They smell it in the water like sharks. But yeah,
that recontest was just free supports and Hardest running at them.
That's absolutely all you need, though, and it's so smart. That's why I wanted to see the sound barrier early. If you can force out ultimates early there, then you can hope to gain an advantage because sound barrier allows you to split up. It doesn't force you to stay together like the trance.
They tried to pull Hardest in front of the team. They're all going to jump in there, stay together, safety in numbers.
Oh,
Numlock isolated from the rest of his team. It's an easy pick-off for Morningstars.
No shield now.
Getting it, and they've got no shield for a self-destruct, but they're all isolated. Nice bubbles and shielding. Shatter gets dropped down from the side. Angle, it's enough for Morningstars to win the fight, maintain control, and burn more of this time back from Hurricane.
Yeah, Morningstars are so good at this comeback, it would seem. They get back into it nice and easy. Happy to see for them. And you know what? I was talking to Malzahsa. I asked him if they had any bananas ordered in. He said no, but it doesn't seem to have affected his playstyle, but he will be hungry for some afterwards.
He's not playing Winston, that's why.
That's why.
That's when it becomes the problem. The Dragon Eddie, he's got that self-destruct ready to go, as does Leaf with the rally. And unlocked, hit or miss with these shatters, unfortunately, and let's see if you can get this one in as Hafiko. Going for a scout behind him, but he's staying a little bit longer on this Sombra. He might want to bring it out, hack the shield, and guarantee that shatter for Numlocked.
Absolutely, but Malzahsa, he knows! He
calculated! Knew
like,
exactly where it was coming from, and Malzahsa's going to take out Downhead, and this initiation from Hurricane just dismantled by a quick flick from Malzahsa.
It's just like, no? Now the shatter's coming? No? That's very well
He's got his antivirus software installed.
So he just completely downloaded Happy in that instance. He's like, I know what's coming. This guy's been playing for so long. He's one of the smartest main tanks within this region.
Gonna send that self-destruct over to take the fight to him with the space they've just been awarded by the threat of that bomb, and they need to be careful Malzahsa doesn't go down here on the retreat. They have got an emergency button, gonna commit the shatter, and British Hurricane don't have an answer to it. They need to just fall back here. They've got ults in the pocket. You've got 1 minute 30 left. You can definitely bring this back. You just need to play it a little bit smarter.
It's so tough to get through here on this choke, especially when it's such a safe corner for Malzahsa to play around. It means he can deny any Discord advantage that British Hurricane can get just by basically standing outside of view. Now, 6 ultimates all online. Surely this has to be the fight. There is a Transcendence. Can keep them in for a little bit longer.
Gonna grab first, moving forward. The Exaraf already found Yofi. There's the big EMP we're looking for. Trans is out from Exaraf. That's all that counts from him. Gets it out just in time, keeps the team alive. Still got ults to play with here. Shatter from Numlock, as well as the supportive ultimates online for them. But he's stunned up. I don't know how he's going to drop the hammer when he's being forced away. Sooner gets the fist into Leaf, takes him down. Dragon Eddie going down low. He was stunned up, but that's going to be Hurricane finally breaking this defense. But look how far they've still got to go on point B, Blank.
And look what it cost them. 3 ultimates. Morningstar's pretty much down everything over. They only had Transcendence. They're already 50% towards the next one. Exaraf have been playing excellently this entire round, flinging those hands at British Hurricane. Now Morningstars, they're going to have the rally. They're able to run at them. They're also going to have the sound barrier. Ideally, what I want to see here is the aggressive sound barrier to force more ultimates out of British Hurricane, because they don't seem to understand how to deal with it.
Morningstars, they could actually end this in one fight. Look where the time bank is, Blank. 20 seconds is all they need to play this one out for, and they've got a Nerf Shatter online. Hardest should get that grab very shortly, and they're going to maybe go for it, but it's not working out for him just yet. The hack comes in on Malzahsa. He's got no shield. Finally, Hurricane pull that combo off, and the sound barrier has to come in, but a charge carries that burst damage. Malzahsa's gone down. They have to play this war of attrition a little bit longer as the overtime kicks in. If they play this right, Morningstars can still get a contest out. They just can't lose any members right now.
Someone has to touch, though. 3 meters remaining. No one can get it. 0.01. Will they push it in now? Exaraf is desperately trying to stand on it. That is the fight over and over there. Dragon Eddie, he will have the mech back. 1 minute 20 remaining. They have the big combo there, the self-destruct and the graviton available. British Hurricane, much of this, they don't have the Diva anymore, so they only have the EMP. So it's really down to Exaraf here to get the Transcendence out early. If he doesn't, they will just die to this graviton should it come through.
Morningstars, like I said, without the Diva, it's going to be hard for Hurricane to shut down a grab, potentially have that risk of eating it, which is unlikely in the first place. Malzahsa being pushed into a corner, and Hafkel's at the perfect angle to hack him out, but he's got an EMP, he doesn't even need to. He can just jump in there. They're going to throw this together. Just off to the side with the rest of the team. D-Stealth, Graviton Surge pulls them in. Sooners already found Hardest, though. Self-destruct on the top. He hacks Dragon Eddie. He can't get the remake in there. So he's going to be out of the fight a little bit longer as they pin him against the wall. Hurricanes fight to win, despite the ults committed from Morningstars. The supports are just going to fall by the wayside. Hardest going down there early. Just made it impossible for Morningstars to come back into that one.
Yeah, it's also very well played from Hafkel there to drop out, decloak, and then just have that threat of the EMP, which is kind of what forced Dragon Eddie to pop the self-destruct. Hafkel is one of these guys, he's the best off-tank to not play off-tank.
They're going to drop down that Shatter. The hack only finds 2, but Hurricane can still commit to this one as Malzahsa's been pinned in the corner and taken away. 5 seconds remaining and only a couple of meters to push this one in. The kills are still coming in. Hardest going to flip the table with that high energy to take down Numlock as Dragon Eddie gets D-Mex, but they're able to pace this one out and spread themselves thinly enough they can keep cycling them through to touch the point. Malzahsa needs to hold shield just to contest, but he's by himself. Here comes the Wrecking Ball from Leaf. Half to the air, can't get the pile driver in. Boots up in the air as well to limit the mobility from Yofi, and Hurricane are going to walk it in, but they have nowhere near the time back. In fact, they haven't got any to play with. They did it in overtime, Blank, so we're just going to see an offense coming out from Morningstars.
Yeah, nice bomb Happy towards the end.
Nice bombing.
Yeah, he's a great. He has a diverse hero pool, and I think that's what I like about Happy is that he does have so many things you can pull out, which means that Morningstar, they have to prep for more things when you run into British Hurricane, because there are so many interesting comps you can play, and finally the hack into the Shadow comes through on point B, and it does actually grab them, but 2 minutes 43 on the clock. That's only 1 minute 20 less than what you actually start with to take point A, and with how quickly that went over, I think we can... Not so to speak safely, but we can assume that Morningstars will take this one tick.
considering you need 33% as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not
much.
It's not a big ask for 2 minutes 43, and Morningstars could walk into this one with an equal series, but the best British Hurricane can hope for here is the first draw of the season and force out a 1-0 scoreline at halftime.
Yes, which would be nice. It would be nice. And now then they only have to win how many? One more map.
They would still need to win 2 maps.
2 maps to take it to that
It essentially
3-0 score
it turns
line.
our 4-game series into a best of 3.
Yeah.
Assuming we then don't also tie on Assault.
Yes. Also assuming we don't tie on Assault, which is in. Oh no, I thought you were talking about Control then. But yeah, assuming we don't tie on Assault, which is a probability as well as.
We'll just ignore the fact that that grapple didn't work out then.
He was like. Don't need it.
Don't need it. I'm just going to change over. Morningstars going for an offensive play here. Leaf on the Sombra, Exo back on the Tracer. Dragon Eddy, of course. On that, they're going for quad DPS. They mix it up here. Malzahsa finally completes the puzzle by going over the Wrecking Ball.
This composition is very strong. You're going to basically see mainly the Mercy on the Farah, but British Hurricane are like, okay, we are not staying there.
Take cover. We can't stay out here, but as soon as you can test the point, look how close it is to completion already. They've had to jump off the point, but Hurricane can't play around like this. They have to have bodies on the point at all times, otherwise they'll just lose. Exoraf's gone down to Bucket. Dragon Eddy killed Happy Cool after he got demeched by Hardest, who's on this Ash, which you usually expect KSP to be playing, but apparently Hardest can play it as well. Numlock's locked in the corner, he's struggling to get his shield up, and that just enables Dragon Eddy to rain these rockets down from above, and the splash damage, he hits the back wall. This is like the worst place Numlock can be right now, and Yofi going down low. Exoraf finds Sooner, Hardest dropping down low, he'll still be able to get back into this one, but there's Bucket just isolated. Sooner picks up another kill, the bodies are dropping for Hurricane. They've only got Yofi on the point, needs to be taken out, and this is all over. Morningstars going to go into the half, 1 apiece.
What is this with the Zenyatta switching over to the Tracers?
Today.
And just Zenyatters indeed, and they're just popping off on the Tracers. It's nice. That last, it was pretty much done. I could call that fight as soon as Zarya died from Exoraf. As soon as Yuzari goes down, basically Hafikul has no leg to stand on at that point because there's no projected barrier. And when you're trying to force out basically damage onto either the Farah or the Ash, you need that projected barrier to get in there because otherwise your mech just gets torn apart mid-air. I do think it was an overinvestment from Hafi to dive so heavily onto Hardest in the background. Really well played to Dreedro, though. The reaction time on that to come over and help his Ash is incredible. But I think they assumed that that's what was going to happen. So he was in a position where it was very easy for Dreedro to basically go, yo, we got to help our Ash right now.
This is Numlock's just on the end of a 1 fight for Hurricane. Of course, Hurricane took Nepal. It just went a little bit airy, a little bit off for them on Blizzard World. And Morningstars have been impressing me in particular. And like you said, the integration of Hardest has definitely been one of the key factors of victory here. The fact that Morningstars is willing to play this aggression around the energy and tempo of such a commanding player like Hardest.
Yeah, and when you start playing around that, I think Malzahsa has done an incredible job to do so. And Malzahsa feels like he has so much impact on the Reinhardt in enabling the rest of his team. Because a lot of times you think, oh, wow, the Reinhardt's doing so much. He's getting the charge off, he's getting the Earth Shadow. But it's all set up by other members of the team, right? So you can see Dreedro, he's looking for boops onto the Reinhardt to allow Malzahsa to get that free charge in. Exoraft is discording the enemy Reinhardt so much to make sure that Malzahsa is able to walk forward without worrying about Numlock suddenly dropping the shield and swinging into him. So it's a nice team effort. I think that's the main thing that we did see on Blizzard World. But great job to Hurricane for taking control as well as. I think they played that extremely well. And the ult economy advantage that they had, and the fact that they were able to hold it for so long, that just shows massive improvements from last season.
I think one of my MVPs of this series so far, anyway, at least that first half, has to be Exoraf.
Yeah, man.
The guy's been absolutely insane, having no problems flexing over to Tracer in these quad DPS compositions. His transcendences have been great in terms of dodging and avoiding and playing around the EMP that was online for Hafikul in terms of that last time. And he's just been fragging out on the back line. And it takes me back to that moment that we just saw this 4-man squad of Morningstars go for the retake. 3 supports and hardest is all you need
dude.
to just run through Hurricane if the circumstances are right.
You got Mini Ryan there, Mini Ryan Leaf, just running at them with the shields. Not quite as big, but it still does the trick. And I think you're very right to say that Xraf should be the MVP here, because if you look at Bucket, he's just not matching him in the time it takes to get up to his own Transcendence. So there's always that pressure that, my God, Xraf might just pop the Transcendence and run at us, or my Grav is always going to be denied by the Transcendence should Hardest get a good counter Grav as well, and then they're going to run into us with Sound Barrier afterwards. He sets up his team in such a good way, and by keeping them in fights so long, just like this one here, he just flips the ult economy in their favor.
Nothing Numlock could have done to avoid those hands from Exoraf. And look at them, they're just running. The supports are frontlining in this one. Nice shatter clips him at the end there. I didn't actually see that he caught Danid in the moment, and it's going to just be the rest of the Morningstars folding into British Hurricane. And that grab there obviously keeps him in place. Hardest happy to just jump over the top of him, spray out damage. He leapfrogged him to get that play off.
Yeah, like right over the head. He was like, give me a piggyback. Now I'm going to stand on your head, and now I'm on the other side. It's like a quick roll through. All the while just zapping them from on high.
And dropping those balls of energy on top of them as well. It was really hard for Hurricane to actually deal with this one. And then when we come around to the final round, Hafiko's just being chased out here by Dragon Eddie.
This is where he went far too far in, I think. I think that was...
easy pickings. There's nothing he could have done about that one. And Bucket, he's sitting low HP, playing around Mini, but he couldn't get the HP out for that one. And unfortunately, that's going to be British Hurricane losing Blizzard World, but they still have that first win from the PAL, so they're going to go into the halftime 1 apiece with Morningstars. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to bring you map number 3.